Let me put my headphones down when I say this right here, okay? Go ahead and put this up. So I tried to upload this video once before and it got taken down. It got taken down for something that was completely confusing, you know, and I was a little confused on why it got taken down. And they tried to say that I was promoting self. I can't really say the rest, but possibly somebody can comment it down below and they could see and read what, you know, they said that I was doing. But I just want to clarify anything or anybody that thought I was promoting any type of incidents like this that happened. A lot of people know one thing I do, I help a lot of people around the world. I share their GoFundMes, I donate here and there, I spread awareness just to situations like this, and make sure I spam rest in peace, beautiful angel or something down below, so they can know, man, we not meaning anything negative or any type of harm or nothing like that. This is all positive vibes. The only thing we're doing is shining light on the unfortunate situation that had happened to a fellow influencer that I actually seen a lot. And you know, unfortunately, didn't get a chance to meet her, but let's get into it right now, man. Y'all stay blessed, and let's go. Yo, what's going on, y'all, man? Today, got a pretty sad story. This is a TikToker. She was a very known influencer who unfortunately passed away. You know, it's no easy way to really say that without it, you know, being somewhat of a bitter, you know, saying, you know, and it's definitely something sad. But what happened afterwards and the reason things went on, like this whole video and what I've read on this is honestly just, it's crazy. So make sure if y'all enjoy my reaction that you hit that thumbs up button, man. 1 thumbs up equals 1,000 prayers for this young woman. And let's get it, let's go.
这也许可能是我最后一条给大家发送视频了。你们也知道，我得抑郁症已经很久了，甚至在医院已经住了2个多月了。想知道原因的话，那就来小号看我直播吧。放心，这一条直播一定不是带货的广告。谢谢你们陪我这么久。
This is Little Kitty. In 2021, she had 700,000 followers on TikTok. She was a star in China. If you loved makeup, fashion, or just day-to-day wisdom, you probably followed her. But at the end of that year, her stardom and promising life took a very dark turn. And after her death, things continued to shock Little Kitty's fans. This is the full story of Little Kitty and her truly disturbing death. Little Kitty was already famous throughout China. But when she posted this video on October 15th, 2021, she got over 1 million views.
大家好，我是小猫。这也许可能是我最后一条给大家发送视频了。你们也知道，我得抑郁症已经很久了，甚至在医院已经住了2个多月了。想知道原因的话，那就来小号看我直播吧。放心，这一条直播一定不是带货的广告。谢谢你们陪我这么久，谢谢。
We all know how people have a tendency to be morbidly attracted by the darkest videos out there. It was truly disturbing watching Little Kitty talk in this video. At times she was smiling, but it wasn't a genuine smile. She was just telling her audience how she'd be faking her happiness for a while. Other times she was zoning out, and it was all very sinister. Her fans would comment, encouraging Little Kitty to get some rest and take a break from streaming if she needed. There's nothing wrong with going offline every now and then. In fact, it might be healthy for all of us. But when Little Kitty's fans went on her Instagram live stream, their words of encouragement turned to pleas. She was drinking a brown beverage from a clear water bottle and grimacing with every sip. The drink did not look right. She claimed it was Coca-Cola, but you can clearly see in this picture that it did not have the consistency of Coke. People started begging her not to do something stupid and put her life at risk. Others, though, wrote really evil comments. If you want to drink it, you should hurry up. Minutes after Little Kitty showed the empty bottle to the camera, the emergency services arrived at her location. It was too late. 25-year-old.
I wonder what it was that she drunk, but that's crazy what social media do to you, y'all. Be safe.
Little Kitty had poisoned with pesticide. But the reality of her death was far darker than simple depression. She had been manipulated, attacked, mocked, and this vileness continued well after her death. All of her friends were outraged and concerned. Little Kitty had called the police and an ambulance to her location as soon as her live stream ended. To her friends, this meant she wanted to live. Little Kitty Lou had been internet famous since before the COVID-19 pandemic, and her fan base was slowly growing. Most of her life was online, and so it was only fitting that she dated another influencer. Back in 2019, Little Kitty started dating a man named Zhao, or Z. Z wasn't nearly as famous as Little Kitty. He was just a guy who was passionate about basketball and would post random basketball videos on his TikTok. He didn't have a lot of views or fans, but Little Kitty admired his passion. And as they started dating, she encouraged him to post more and become a little celebrity as well. Hand in hand like that, they could be couple goals. So Z started posting more, and Little Kitty started promoting his channel with her audience. 2 years later, though, their relationship would end, and everything that led to Little Kitty's death would start. To his now increasing fan base, Z started complaining about Little Kitty and explaining why they'd broken up. Except he wasn't using facts. He was using sensationalist lies to attract a bigger audience and get them to bully Kitty online. Z said that Little Kitty used emotional manipulation to make him do her bidding. She would threaten to jump from a rooftop whenever she wanted him to do or say something, and she would self-harm to obtain his forgiveness. This was proven to be untrue. Little Kitty didn't have any such scars. Z also claimed that whenever they had a fight, Little Kitty would go off to sleep with rich men. He even claimed that Little Kitty once got pregnant, but he wasn't certain it was his baby. Here's another messed up side of the internet. People don't really question things. They see a post and they just go with it. In a relationship, it's never that easy. There's always two sides to every breakup story, and they can't really be summed up with a few reels. But a
lot of people don't know as well, like, we're in the era of the silent depression. I know a lot of y'all looked and y'all noticed, like, just in history books and things when they had the Great Depression and things like that. Right now, we're in the era of the silent depression. People are not speaking of it. They're posting on social media to somewhat give them a dopamine to get past their depression. And that is facts. A lot of studies are showing that a lot of people who are on social media, in fact, are depressed. It causes depression and it can bring anxiety as well. And some of it can be a coping mechanism other than other folks. You know, like some people cope with, you know, doing a Great Depression. And some people cope through drugs and narcotics and things like that, but we cope through social media, you know, and it's also a different type of drug. It's just an endorphin that's released within our body, you know, but I'm gonna get more in at the end. We'll watch the rest.
But Zhao's fans were quick to judge Little Kitty and blame her for being immoral and emotionally unstable. No one asked Little Kitty what the relationship was like for her. They just proceeded to cyberbully her. She was called a gaslighter and a slut. People would ask her who was the dad of her unborn baby and insult her for sleeping with rich men. Upset and really distraught, Little Kitty terminated her pregnancy. As soon as that happened, though, guess what Z did? He claimed that the baby might have actually been his. Now he was mad at Little Kitty for killing his child. Sheesh. Z's mindless fans now bullied Kitty for depriving her ex of his baby. Just days ago, they were insulting her for cheating on him. So which one was it? Finally, Z went online to tell his fans to take it easy with the cyberbullying. He said he knew he made some mistakes in the relationship as well, and he wanted to be the bigger man. Yeah. After sending his fans on Little Kitty, now he wanted some attention for being the wise guy too. Little Kitty had her share of disturbing stories about Zhao. Reportedly, Z cheated on her with his ex a month into dating him. Kitty believed he used her for views and that he stayed in contact with his ex throughout the duration of their relationship.
Wow.
According to Little Kitty, Z was unfaithful to her repeatedly. He'd even tried to sleep with his viewers once he started growing a fan base. After one of his viewers liked his post, he DM'd her saying, "Just a like? Let's get to know each other." This one viewer released this message, but who knows how many others actually engaged in flirting with Z or more. When the viewer pointed out to Z that he had a girlfriend, he said, "We each play on our own." But Little Kitty said she never had an open relationship. Z was just being gross. In her videos, Little Kitty tried to clarify some misconceptions people now had about her relationship with Z. She also debunked the self-harm manipulation stories and explained that she was diagnosed with depression but never used it to gaslight or threaten Z. Little Kitty also said she would never cheat on Z or anyone, especially since she is so depressed, she rarely has the energy to leave the house. Another dark side of the story was that Z was very controlling of Little Kitty. He told her what to wear, how to look like, and how to behave around him. Kitty also said that she was indeed pregnant, and when Z became paranoid that the baby wasn't his, she begged him to do a paternity test. But guess what? He didn't want to.
I knew it.
Frightened that the baby was his, he didn't want the responsibility of being a father. Finally, he demanded that they open a couple's bank account. When Kitty said no, he ended the relationship. Then he began a witch hunt against her. Following Little Kitty's side of the story, her fans started calling Z out for lying and inciting his fans to bully her. That's when Z released a video claiming that he sent $15,000 to Kitty to help her out. But that was a lie too. He never sent her a penny. What's worse, while Kitty's fans only called Z out a few times, Z's fans continued to harass Kitty online. Her name was tainted, and every one of her videos would get hateful comments from then on. Around this time, another man came into Little Kitty's life. Sadly, he was even worse than Z. Little Kitty started dating a man named Lee. Lee was the narcissistic, manipulative type. He love-bombed Kitty and sold her stories of them living happily ever after together. Shockingly, Lee scammed Kitty into buying a house with his name on it. He'd sold her a romantic dream, the two of them starting a life together in a beautiful house, away from all the horrors she felt in her apartment. Poor Kitty had dealt with lying, manipulative men before, but not at this level, and the worst was yet to come. This comes from Little Kitty's close friends. There's no police report on it. Lee reportedly visited Kitty, spiked her drink, and his horrible gang assaulted her. Honestly, guys, I'm at a loss for words. A few weeks later, Kitty would take life on Livestreamed. Reportedly, Kitty meant to make a video to attract Lee's attention. It's unclear if she wanted him to see the video or the police to catch him, though. It's also unclear why she didn't go to the police in the first place. However, essay cases are the toughest to solve, as it is often a case of my word against his. So maybe Little Kitty didn't want to go through all of that, or maybe her depression had worsened to the point that she couldn't leave her house anymore. That would make sense in that context. Heartbreakingly, Kitty's friends are adamant she was not going to drink the whole bottle of pesticide, but when hundreds of people started posting hateful comments encouraging her to down the drink, she did. Again, if you're asking why anyone would do that, remember she was in a very bad mental state at that point.
知道原因的话，那就来小号看我直播吧。放心，这一条直播一定不是带货的广告。谢谢你们陪我这么久，谢谢。
Little Kitty's grieving fans noticed something else. One of the people egging her on to drink the whole bottle was an account named You're the Most Precious. The icon was a basketball player, no posts or anything else. So they were quick to make the connection to Z,
I think he definitely was on there.
We can't say it was him, but only acknowledge that basketball was his biggest passion. By now, Little Kitty's family was involved too. They sought legal action against You're the Most Precious, the account that made the worst and the most comments against Kitty that day. But soon the account was deleted and the case was dropped. And what did Z post after Kitty died? Please stop thinking the dead are superior. Stop spreading rumors. As I said, I will take full legal responsibility for everything I said online. Her parents can come talk to me, but I have all the proof. It's heartbreaking to see how Z continued to make this about himself, even after such a tragic, disturbing death. But the story doesn't end here. In fact, it's about to get even creepier.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
A month had passed since Little Kitty's death, when her ashes were stolen from her apartment and replaced with another powder. R.I.P wrote, Chinese influencer Lou Little Cat passed away in October this year after she was pressured into drinking pesticide on a live stream. Sadly, even in death, the influencer has no rest. Her ashes were recently offered up as a potential spouse in a ghost marriage. Oh, wait, what? Ghost marriage?
Never heard of that.
Yep.
What's that?
In China, marrying a deceased person is a known custom, dating some 3,000 years.
Traditionally,
Wow.
the dead usually marry the dead, in which there would be ghostly arranged marriages for family reasons or
That's
reasons of
crazy.
romantic love. And very occasionally, the living would marry the dead.
Ghost marriages had a couple of meanings. On the one hand, there are stories of families who dreamt of their deceased children asking to marry someone from the underworld.
His grandmother woke up from a dream in which she said her deceased son had visited her, and he told her, "Mum, you know, I've met this girl in the underworld and I'd like to get married."
When the women tracked down the said family, they said they also dreamt of their dead daughter asking for the same thing.
I ain't never heard
Sure
of that
enough,
chat.
the two families
Ever.
got together and arranged a ghost wedding for their children. On the other hand, there was a more practical use for a ghost marriage. A rich family with a deceased son would ask a girl from a poor family to marry their son and work as their servant. This worked for the very poor families in ancient China. Many of those girls actually feared starvation, so the prospect of being fed and protected by a wealthy family was enticing.
matter?
Ghost marriage or not?
Just a very difficult life, I think. And for a young girl, the end of all your hopes and dreams.
That was their binding contract. Today, however, ghost marriages have become a lucrative business, and Little Kitty was not the only victim.
Police in northwest China have charged a man with murdering 2 women with mental disabilities, alleging that he wanted to sell their corpses to be used in so-called ghost weddings.
Ghost marriages have been around for millennia, yet they really picked up in recent years. They have everything from dowry, contracts, banquets, and even certified matchmakers seeking deceased partners for living people. Reports of grave robbery and murder have surfaced as people seek to make a quick profit out of this growing business. In 2015, 14 female corpses were stolen from just one village. The culprits intended to sell them off for marriage. Sadly, the same thing happened to Little Kitty after her death. But by the end of November 2021, the thieves were caught.
Wow.
Apparently, the funeral practitioners were hoping to get up to $10,000 for Little Kitty's ashes. It's heartbreaking to think women's bodies are being treated as commodities in
Even
life
after death.
and even in death.
That's crazy.
Here's another disturbing story.
Women be going through it, man. I ain't never heard of this before, but if they get treated, she got treated like that when she was alive, but now she getting treated like, man, that is.
In July 2016,
Wow.
the family of 20-year-old Xiao Yang wanted to give him a funeral and a wedding on the same day. Their beloved son had lost his life in a car accident, and his traditional family in the central Chinese province of Henan wanted him to never be alone in the afterlife. So his uncle, Miao Taisheng, decided to purchase the body of an unwed woman for his nephew. In July 2016, one of Miao's acquaintances, Hu Alan, told him that back in their hometown, there was an unmarried woman who was ill and dying. Her family had already decided to sell her body. Later, Miao and the woman's family agreed on a price of 32,000 yen or $4,700, which included transporting the body to Miao's family. The ghost wedding was held on the afternoon of July 14th, 2016. At around 7 p.m., as the guests prepared to bury the coffin, they heard the sounds of hands and feet pounding
No.
against the wood. If
That
this
can't
wasn't
be real.
creepy enough, it was pouring down too. When the terrified family opened the casket, they found the corpse bride very much alive, gasping in terror. The poor woman was alive, but she was also
What?
deaf and mute. She couldn't scream for help. The traffickers had done the same thing to 2 women in the past, earning between $5,000 and $10,000 for each murder. 30
So okay, I gotta stop pausing. Let me-
times the average monthly salary
Talk about it
in the
then.
region. All of these women have some sort of disability, mental or not. It is truly stomach turning to think that people would abuse such people for their own benefit. In short, they would kill them for money. It is even more disgusting that the chief trafficker was a man in his early 60s, using his kind, benevolent appearance as a way to lure vulnerable women into his van. The whole story sends shivers down my spine, you guys. Imagine getting kidnapped, drugged, sold, and buried alive. This poor bride was saved, but years of therapy won't repair her trauma. And who knows how many others have suffered the same fate because of a few evil people who wanted to make a quick buck. The corpse trade was outlawed in China in 2006, but there are still lots of desperate, superstitious families in the less developed regions of the country. When their child dies, they hate the idea of them going to the underworld alone. Sadly, these poor people have no idea how terrible the corpse industry is. There is even a value ranking according to how fresh a woman's body is. The most valuable ones are sold while they are still alive in the hospital fighting for their lives. Shockingly, it's these women's own families who sell them. They're convinced their daughter won't make it, so they'd rather make some money off of her. When they can earn more than 2 years' salary from just one deal, it's almost understandable. Except it's not. This is a human being with the right to live, and her body is not a commodity to be sold against her will. Human trafficking is wrong in every imaginable way, and it doesn't matter if the person is dead or alive. Little Kitty's tragic story is a stark reminder of two things. 1, the awful industry around ghost weddings, and 2, the really disturbing risks of being an influencer. Cyberbullying is real, guys. There are papers connecting cyberbullying and the increase in teenage attempts. That is really sad. And online bullying only gets worse when you're famous. Poor little Kitty fell victim to 2 horribly manipulative men. One used her for fame, and the other scammed her for money. Because of Z, little Kitty was bullied by hundreds of people, calling her names, and mocked for her mental health issues. Honestly, who mocks someone struggling with depression? On that fateful day, little Kitty might not have downed that bottle were it not for people egging her on to do it. Heartbreakingly, it takes much fewer people to take you down a rabbit hole than lead you out of the darkness. You guys, remember to keep your real friends close. A support group is key to staying safe and happy. And if someone is promising you the world or trying to control your life, maybe take a step back from that person. And let's remember little Kitty for an innocent person who only wanted to share happiness and a love for fashion online. She did not deserve what happened to her. Hey, thanks for
Man, I don't even know where to start. Like, I'm gonna be 100. I don't even know where to start. Just the fact that is like, I never known that it's a type of trafficking that's different from the one that we all know about. If y'all know what I'm talking about, like, they literally traffic women just to sell their corpse. They don't want to do nothing with them. Literally auctioning off their body. Auctioning off their body just to sell it and make money. Still alive. Like, it was so much I was getting hit with throughout this video. I didn't even really know where to stop, where to start. I didn't want to keep stopping it throughout the video, but it was so much going on. And it was so much that I learned as well. Like, this is something new to me as well as it's possibly new to y'all, but it's sad just to even see how things turn out for people. That little girl was alive in that casket while her family sold her because the family was poor. And their judicial system is so messed up and corrupt that a lot of people don't even get caught. Like, they have one of the worst jails I have seen around the world. It's like in China or someplace like that. People have been in jail for 15 years, all because of some misunderstanding. Oh, they forgot to pay taxes on a Snicker bar or something like that. Look it up. Somewhere in the Asian, China, Philippines, something like that. It's a jail where they're literally been in jail for 25 years because they took a candy bar. Zero tolerance. And then they can leave as they want. They could come back with it when they want. They got jobs. They got families. Like, it's looked like that they just stripped from their home. Like, that ain't about the video, but that's crazy to know that there are levels of different levels of trafficking. I thought it was just the normal one that everybody talk about where they take these people, they, you know, perform activities, but they literally just selling because they want their soul to be saved in the afterlife. These people paying tens of thousands of dollars just so they significant other, child, or whoever's soul can be saved in the afterlife by a woman. These women don't get no break. I can only imagine if that was like that in America. Well, our women already going through too much now. Just imagine you don't even get a break once you pass away. Like, that is just something completely sad, man. But it's also sad to know that this young woman had to go through this. And it was all because of the silent depression that we are in right now. You know, there is an increased rate of you know, males and just even teenagers and things like that than it was about 15, 20 years ago. It's a major increase, but it's because of the investment of technology, man. Like, influence, TikTok it ain't saying that's the only thing, but it's the influence that's going on. The music, it's all types of just crazy stuff that's going on in the world, to where like kids feel like that is their only way out. Like, I used to feel like, I can't even say that, you know what I'm saying? I can't really say what they're going through, but I know, like, as a kid, if, you know, when I used to think about things like that, I would think I'd get a whooping for thinking about stuff like that. Now, if I do this, my mama go come and get me in the afterlife and whoop me. But now it's just totally different. Like, the world is just different, man. And I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to stop. I'm just sitting here just talking and venting y'all right now because this is honestly something sad, man. But y'all gotta let me know y'all thoughts and just share y'all honest input. I don't care if it's a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, talk. I'm finna be responding to people. I'm reading all comments, man. Y'all comment down below and let me know y'all true, honest thoughts and opinions on this down below. Make sure I hit that thumbs up if y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all later, man.